Here we are, guys. Hey, it's Ray, gray-haired guy and Guy, Tales from the Mat. I think this will be episode number 12 with Kealan Samson. Last name Samson?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And we've apparently what we just spoke about is we met briefly, but I don't really
Yeah.
know you. You don't know me, but it's all good, man. I just love meeting new martial arts people, BJJ people who love the arts, and it's great. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. And some people often ask, I'm actually in my wife's business. She has a holistic practice, so that's why all this funky stuff is behind me. So her spot's nicer than mine. So listen, let's do our plugs first, meaning where are you at? What are you doing? You're running a school. What's going on?
So I live in Isle Madame, Cape Breton. I opened a martial arts gym, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, MMA in St. Peter's. So
Ah,
in beautiful,
nice.
yeah. Started I just opened it up in January actually. So and it's going really well. So
I'm glad to hear that. That's fantastic. I often drove through St. Peter's a lot. One of my really best friends is he's from St. Peter's, Roger Stone. He's a real famous musician from up that way.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Instructor in a couple different martial arts as well. And anyways, he's I don't want to give away his age, but he's in his 60s now. But anyway, St. Peter's beautiful, beautiful, and it's so good that something is up there now. You're the only one. Is there other martial arts around you?
Not the closest would be like Sydney area and then the Shetty Camp as well. So it was always my dream to move home and opened my gym. And this year I took the plunge, I guess you call it,
Yeah,
the, the leap.
yeah. No, good for you. Well, I ran a full-time school for about 27 years, so I could tell you all the good things and bad things to look out for.
Sure you could, for
So,
sure.
so what are you doing up there? You have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing,
Yeah, we
Muay
got
Thai.
Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and we have MMA as well. I
Wonderful.
have the women's Muay Thai class going as well. It's hit or miss some days, but it's
Of course.
a thing.
Yeah, no, and it's always a struggle when you get going in a martial arts school or whatever type to get the word out there and get people interested and
Yeah,
hopefully you have some dedicated students, but hard to
right.
find people as truly dedicated as yourself, to what you're doing. So
Yeah.
I like to ask the obvious question. Where did you start, man? What's the scoop?
Oh God.
Like, don't be
So
shy.
no, it's a long time ago. I only dabbled with it when I was like 18 or so. I went to Titans for a bit. It's probably only 6 months though.
Yeah.
Wasn't very. And then I went to Zombie Proof afterwards. There was a couple of years later. I went to school at Marconi campus for pipe fitting.
Oh,
I was doing
wow.
my ship. Yeah, so I went to Zombie Proof for a little bit. And then when I moved back to Halifax, I was actually getting Chinese food. And right next door was 374 MMA. And I could see inside.
Yeah.
And I could see people hitting pads and, doing whatever. So I went in and I talked to Rad, who's the instructor there. And I started there. Actually took a couple MMA fights, got my blue belt, and then I ended up moving to Dartmouth, in
Yeah.
which I didn't want to commit across the bridge all the time, so I started going to Fit Plus.
Right.
And
Fantastic.
yeah,
All
so
good places you remember. And I'm kind of an old guy, so I know all their history. So, including Kent when he was younger and all those guys, 374. Good for you, man. That's a lot of different training you've done.
yeah, and it was on and off until I got to 374, and then it was like straight. So it was probably the last 8 or 9 years just straight
Okay.
training. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just so you know, your phone's shaky a bit, but you're probably holding it, so it's
I'm
okay.
holding it. Yeah,
That's all
it's
right. It's okay. It's all right.
wheel, but I'm holding it. Yeah.
This whole podcast video thing is totally ghetto anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Got to start somewhere.
That's right. Oh yeah, I'm just doing this for fun because honestly, I'm just doing it to talk to other martial artists. So that's yeah. So so 374 is predominantly where you did most of your training at?
It's
Or
probably half and half now.
okay.
I was there for about 4 years and then Fit Plus for about 4 or 5 years.
Right, with Scott.
So,
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He has a fantastic school too. He's a long history, that fella.
for, for
So
sure.
And
Yeah.
then what? You just decided to move back home?
Actually, I was eventually going to move back home and start my own gym. I wanted like my brown belt first. I wanted a couple things like a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Uh, my mom got sick, so I quit my job. I moved home and then decided to start it right away. I moved home in November and I started it in January.
Wow.
Luckily,
So-
there were the Richmond Warriors Boxing Club. They are in St. Peter's. They took me in, let me put my mats down, let me start classes. They're Matt Kite and Sean Green. They're good guys. We're
Okay.
sticking there since. So we got a good little program going.
Wow, that's awesome. So you're kind of sharing space or you have your own spot?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah. And
good. I mean, that's
we're actually moving here too, actually in a couple weeks, I think. But we'll talk about that another time, I guess.
okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Absolutely. For sure. For sure. It's always tricky when you run a school, whether it doesn't matter what martial art it is. I mean, if you're in a smaller community, there might not be a lot around. It's hard to get people interested. Some people
Yeah,
are just lazy. They don't want to train.
yeah, yeah.
They don't,
People. I have some of those students
yeah,
calling them. No, I'm
they
just
don't have the
kidding.
same desire as you have. But you know what? If you can find, three or four or five or six good students that you can just keep working with, that's really important. So
Yeah, I bet I'm up to like 45 or so members at the moment, and
that's fantastic.
yeah, there's quite a few try like the people who show up a lot.
Yeah.
Be about 15. They're there like 4 or 5 times a week, so no, it's
That's
going pretty
good.
good.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, they have to appreciate the fact you're giving your time for a small community to learn this stuff. So, I mean,
Sure,
it's
yeah.
great.
Then there's
And I
nothing
think
like
Shetty Camp, sorry, go ahead.
so yeah, there's nothing like it around too. So and there's been people wanting a school for a long time, like jujitsu or Muay Thai, and it just hasn't been around. So
Okay.
um, that's why they're there, I guess.
Well, in Cape Breton, there's quite a good history of obviously martial arts, judo, taekwondo, Japanese jiu-jitsu's been up there for years before. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, of course, with Kent and Integrity. And I think now, what's up with Shetty Camp? I think they're relatively new.
Yeah, they just opened up. Joe Doherty, he's been to my gym a couple times. They're, I believe, Gracie Baja affiliate.
Okay.
Uh,
I think he's from away, like Ontario way or something.
but he moved to Shetty Camp and he started his own gym there. I think they're just jujitsu, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's going well there, I guess. I was just talking to him today, actually.
Okay, good. Oh, well, I keep track of clubs and like we originally when BJJ first kind of got going here in the province back in around 94, 95, um, there was no black belts. It was just maybe a couple blue belts, mostly, Peter Martell, Kevin Taylor, and Jake McKenzie and Chuck Sproul. They were anyway, and over time it's built up. Now we have, I keep track, 91 black belts in the province. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I believe 24 or 34, one or the other, I can't remember, it's on my list, clubs in the province.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
HRM alone, we have 14. Like before there was Peter, Peter and Kevin.
Good thought, too, yeah.
So I
You guys,
mean it's grown so much. It's grown so much. And in your time, even like if you've been training for a number of years, you've seen the development come up quite a bit.
absolutely, yes, yes. It's grown so much since I first started. It's actually crazy.
Right.
Um, I don't even have words to be honest.
Oh, it's okay. That's all right. I mean, everything now with social media and you got YouTube and you can learn so many things online, but also practice. And, a lot of the older folks, I say older, everything they had to learn was by a book or by an instructor. Really does help now when you really want to develop. So obviously you're constantly researching your skills and new ideas to teach and all that stuff.
Yes, I'm researching all the time. I confide in Scott a lot. He's been a mentor to me.
Yeah,
So I'm talking to him about, how to run things or other move like things I can do to help the classes run smoothly.
sure.
Um, and then I'm looking up things online, as you said, and I'm trying to also, because not everyone's going to take my style of jujitsu, so people are going to take their own um, styles. So I
Yeah,
have to then learn new things that I'm not comfortable doing all the time, but maybe they will be, So
yeah,
try
for
to
sure.
learn it and then teach it, and it's been going good.
Good. Do many of your students try to do the different, like do kickboxing as well and BJJ, or they maybe just pick
Yeah,
one thing they like,
yeah. There's a couple that only do the one each. Like BJJ, I'd say is the more popular one.
right?
I actually have a guy. I can't say who he's fighting, but I have a guy fighting on the next Fight League Atlantic card.
Yeah,
Um, he's doing everything, and a couple other guys wanting to fight MMA as well, so they're doing everything. And yeah, it's going well.
that's good. I mean, MMA is definitely blowing up around here since but believe it or not, the first one, well, Titans put it on, ECC at
Yeah,
Halifax Forum, and it sold out. Like 5,000 people went to
that
it.
didn't surprise me.
It's crazy. And then, kind of went down from there and up. But now, I mean, Fight League Atlantic is doing amazing. And I mean, ECC is still around with their kind of Atlanta Combat Sports, but they haven't held events in quite a while. But Fight League Atlantic's just so they're awesome. I've been to a couple of their events and they're
Yeah,
so
they do
good.
a really good job. Yeah, really
Yeah.
good job picking the team there. They're really good.
So you were just at one recently. You guys did like a tag team grappling thing.
Yeah,
What's
I
that
was in
all
the
about?
tag there. I just wanted for most of the exposure. I guess I
Of
did it for
course.
fun. Um, yeah, there's tapper tag. I've seen my old teammates from Fit Plus do the original one, and the way they had it set up was more chaotic than what it was in the cage. But
Right.
the whole cage rule where you have to hold on to the rope there, the lanyard, and I liked that rule. And
Okay.
having the cage actually surrounding as well was really cool. So yeah, no, it's quite the experience. It was definitely chaotic. It was awesome.
Yeah. Is this something new? Like, does someone else do this? I wonder.
I don't believe anybody else does the tapper tag. Like I know Derek and them have been doing it. This is the third one, so they've
Yeah.
done two other ones. And other than that, I can't think. I've never seen it online. I've never witnessed it other than
Right.
uh, Fight League Atlantic.
Good experience, though. I mean, good adrenaline dump too. You go in there and, there's a crowd and lights and people are yelling and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
I was
So,
used to like I have MMA fights myself,
oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so I was used to the whole thing, like the people in the cage and all that. So
Yeah.
I didn't really have an adrenaline dump,
Okay.
but yeah, because it was for fun anyway. I didn't
Yeah,
ride
of
anything.
course. It's a good time.
Yeah,
That's
so
really good. So what's up with your MMA fights now? What were they all about?
um, so the first one I was with Rad. So first three, actually, I have four.
Yep.
With Rad at 374. My first one was underground though, so they don't count it. I guess it was like same
That's
day
all. It
win.
doesn't matter. It's good experience.
Um, but I was just like walked in. I was 165, fought a guy who was like giant, and ended up knocking him out in the first round.
Nice.
And then I took a couple more fights. One that I started going down in weight because I wanted to start fighting. If you're a big scary dude, you got to fight big scary dudes, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
down the line, and yeah, I went to 155 next, and I lost that second round submission.
Yeah,
My grappling was not very good.
that's all right.
Then the next one I lost first round submission, and then the last one there under Scott I got decision loss as well. So I'm on a
Yep.
3 fight losing streak, but
It doesn't matter. The main thing is
to work the Monday after, right? It's not like I was trying to go to the UFC or anything. It was just to
no. But what
step in.
what a lot of people don't understand is the fact that it takes so much to get in the ring. Like not just training, obviously you put so much heart and soul into training, but just mentally to walk into a cage or a ring and compete, it's one of the hardest things you could do. So, I mean,
That, definitely, that was my biggest issue. I found was the mental part of it back when I was fighting.
right.
I've worked on it, but yeah, the mental part was the hardest part in my opinion.
Do you remember your very first match after you were done when you stepped out of the ring or the cage? Do you remember how it felt? You couldn't hear anything, you couldn't talk to people, like you were just zoned out. It was
It was
just
yeah, well, it was funny because the round had ended and the guy went to his corner, but he stumbled really bad.
right.
So the round went over and I was just waiting in my corner. I was getting my advice. I was drinking the water and the ref comes up and he does the whole handshake thing, like the waves it off, and I was like, what? And I jumped on the top ropes and I was like, yes, like just going. I had fans there. We were in Quebec, but I had fans. They were like, "Yes, yes."
Okay.
Best feeling, man. It was really good.
Yeah, that no, it is good. I remember I used to compete in the 80s in kickboxing, 84 to 87, but I remember my very first fight after I was done. I couldn't hear. You get what's called auditory exclusion. Like I couldn't hear anything. I didn't know where I was for like 20 minutes. So I was just in a really weird daze. But it's nerves and then
Yeah,
just being in the event and
that's
stuff.
an adrenaline dump after that
Yeah,
one, and
yeah,
like everything you learn, I find the first fight especially, everything I've learned, like the technique just went out the window. It was a scrap. It was a brawl. Like there
yep,
was no technique at all. But
right.
it was all right.
Is that something you're thinking about doing more of, or you're more so like training and teaching?
I'm I'm
Not
not
that there's
sure.
any pressure.
Mostly, mostly coaching. I probably will do another tapper tag. That was fun.
Yeah.
And I felt like I could have done better. I felt I tapped maybe a little early. And things that you tell yourself when you
Oh yeah.
watch things over, right? But no, I don't know if I'll fight again. I'm focused on, teaching my students and getting them where they want to go with their fighting
Right.
careers if they want to take off or whatever they want to do with it. So probably
Right. Good
focus
for
on
you.
the coaching aspect, the
Right.
dream aspect.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. And so the people that come to your club, they're most just I use the term average people. They're like they just local people that just interested in doing it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Some guys have been training at like there was I guess before I showed up, they were doing a little bit of jujitsu in Port Hawkesbury, but it
Okay.
was like they had to rent out the civic center or something, and they had a little bit of mat space, and they weren't consistent.
Right.
You guys had a little bit of experience, and then I got guys came from different gyms as well, like because they were driving a zombie proof or like to that way to go to class when they lived like in
Right.
Ayrshire, an hour and a half drive or
Okay.
more, hour 45. So they started coming with me, so they had experience. But mostly, yeah, so they're just average people too. Like it's not like
Yeah.
they're there to like trying to kill anybody or it's
No,
just
and you
every
know what? That's the students you want. I always said because when I used to run a school, Bushido Kai martial arts for a long time, and we did have a fight team towards the end, but no offense to anybody, but fighters don't pay the bills. That's my
right.
opinion. You
Yeah,
need students,
right.
like children, adults, families. They're the ones that pay the bills and help pay you. Fighters are great, but yeah.
Yeah. And I do want to have fighters, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm focused on everybody. Like I don't want like I have a sign as soon as you walk in, it says check your ego at the door.
Ah,
So
nice.
I won't allow anyone with an ego kind of at the gym.
Right.
Like it's just like Fit Plus was, and even 374 was like a
Yep.
second family, right? Like everyone there was cool with everyone. There was no cliques. It's
Yeah.
just you guys go there, you train, you make each other better, and that's what I want my gym to be, and that's so far
Good for
what it is.
you.
The
That's
improvement
good.
is really good.
Yeah, and it takes time. It takes time to build up.
Yeah,
There's no question. So what's your schedule there like for you now? Oh, sorry. You obviously work full-time job?
I do. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I work Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
In your trade that you do?
No,
Oh,
actually, there was no pipe fitting work. So my brother worked at the Ford dealership in Port Hawkesbury, and he got me a job as an apprentice mechanic. So
okay.
the mechanic stuff right now, it's not very
Right.
good money, but it is what it is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in today's economy. I mean, all you can do is work.
Right. So pipe
So
fitting
you,
mechanic apprentice is just like, yeah.
yeah, for sure. No, for sure. So you're at the club then pretty much every day or like in the evening?
Um, there's no schedule on Sunday, but sometimes if people want extra work, I'll go in Sunday. But I'm there Monday to Saturday. Usually class starts at 6:30. I'll have two classes on the weekdays. So
Yep.
it's 6:30 and 7:30. On Friday, I have two classes, but they're an hour and a half each instead of an hour.
Right.
And Saturday, I have kids and then open mat and the women's class as well. So
Oh,
um,
good. How does the women's class go? What's that?
it's just Muay Thai.
Yeah.
The women's Muay Thai class. It's not competitive. They don't spar or anything. It's just
No,
they're
no, that's the best
like
way.
a workout style.
Yeah.
The ones who come are loving it. Just gotta try and spread the word and
Yeah.
go from there. But it's relatively new. I didn't start it right away. It was
Right.
just an idea I had later on, and Yeah, it's going all right.
That's good. Good. No, a lot of people like the Muay Thai, kickboxing, whatever you want to call it. It's very popular with a lot of people just for fitness, recreation, and 90% of people don't want to spar. They just want to hit pads and get a workout.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's like a personal trainer.
yeah, and that sometimes it's less stress for you because,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
you know, you see two people going at it, and sometimes you got to jump in and say, "Slow down there, folks." We don't want people getting hurt.
Right.
And
That's why I think some people are a little iffy about starting too. They think that everyone's trying to take each other's head off, but that's not the case at most gyms, I would say.
right,
Not certainly not at my gym, and
right.
certainly not at Plus. So, excuse me, but yeah, no,
Are
that
you
that you get the message out that it's not all barbarians and whatnot.
right? So are you coming back this like do you come back this way to Dartmouth or Halifax, wherever, to do some training as well, or are you mostly
I
stuck up
try
there?
mostly for competitions. Like I got guys competing in the next submission arts competition.
Yeah.
And same day we got guys boxing in Spryfield as well. So I'm down in
Oh,
October for a little bit for the weekend anyway.
good
I'm
for
gonna try
you.
try to make it to Fit Plus and get some rounds in with the guys. I haven't seen them in a while, so
Right.
haven't rolled with them in a while either. So it'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And it's also tough because you want people of your level or higher to be always constantly practicing with. So, but when you're, in a out of the way, it's tricky to find people, but that's good. It's really
Luckily,
good for you.
I have two blue belts. They're not obviously not my blue belts, but there's two blue belts that
Yeah.
come to my gym. Like they didn't get them under me. I mean, they're technically my blue belts now, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're not bad. Like they give me some goes and whatever. And we still got some hard rolls. The white belts are getting good too, so
Right.
it's going very well. But
That's
yes, like
awesome.
yeah, you need that extra. Like I want to get beat up myself sometime too. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So now you don't have like a set curriculum or anything. You just kind of like a general class, how your class runs. You just kind of work off whatever you're feeling in the mood for that night, or
I have a little booklet that I write the week down of what I'm going to teach. So
good
that because I've
plan.
done the wing it thing, and sometimes I feel like I've done the same thing twice in like the same week, and it's just like okay, I gotta write things down because it's just spur of the moment. I'm not very good at like just thinking off the top of my head.
Right.
So I have everything written down for the whole week, and then I'll have my little booklet. I'll check it before class, and then I'll teach that. So I have a curriculum for the week, and it's usually for jujitsu or something. It'll stay like if it's back attacks, it's gonna be back attacks the whole week. It'll just be different, or escapes, it'll be escapes the whole week. It's just
Right.
focusing on certain thing every week, and that's how I've been doing it so far. It seems to work very well.
Good for you. Are you a fan of like obviously gi, no gi? Do you guys argue about what's better? Do you?
Love the gi. Love the gi. I know that everyone's saying it's dead. It's not dead.
No, it's not.
Not dead. Come on. I like it both. Jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu to me, whether
Yeah,
it's in the gi or no gi, it doesn't matter. It's still the same to me. Gi is actually harder in my opinion, so I like the challenge.
more
Um,
techniques.
more techniques, yeah. So, I like it both. I would probably lean a little more towards the gi, but like it's pretty much 50-50.
Right. And you're a big advocate, obviously, because you do a lot of striking. Like incorporate striking in your training. Like it's just
Yeah.
makes you more well-rounded.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And do you kind of push your guys to compete, or you just like compete if you want to?
I always recommend you like try it. Like
Yeah,
I'll tell man, I recommend you try it. Like it's not you don't have to stick with it, but if like you want to go into one tournament, try it. And then if you don't have to do it all the time. I don't push people to compete at all. If they want to compete, they compete. If they don't want to compete, I kind of just be like, yeah, well, maybe try it once, like just to get the feeling of it's different than the gym, right? There's like more nerves. It's
yeah,
just a different feeling. So if you were to use it on the street, it'd almost be the same feeling. So that's just
yeah.
kind of getting that feeling of someone's actually trying to harm you, um, and then trying to take that away from them, I guess.
Absolutely. That's awesome. You take any seminars? Have you been to any training with any other people? Like
My,
seminars, where you get to meet people and
got my blue belt from Hoist Gracie. So
ah, good.
I've trained with Jose Aldo, BJ Penn, Wagner Fabiano. I went to a couple like I went to man, Gabriel Vargas seminar a couple times,
Yeah,
to Henzo Gracie seminar. I've been to quite a few seminars. I
that's
try to learn.
awesome. Good for you.
Um, Alex Sodra, not long ago at Fit Plus, he was down.
Yeah.
He's really taken off in the competitive jiu-jitsu scene, and he was at Fit Plus there not long ago. I went to that.
That's
Uh,
great. It's always important to do that. I always find it really baffling when I meet students that are not interested in attending seminars at all.
yeah.
I mean, you learn stuff, but you also get to experience that person and their energy and the way they teach and yourself as an instructor. When I go to seminars now, I want to learn something, but I'm more interested in finding out how the instructor presents his material. And then I'll
Yeah.
use those tips or ideas in order to be able to teach my students too, right?
So
So,
before, when I went with like Hoist Gracie or like BJ and all those guys, I wasn't a coach. So for me, it was more learning from my idols, and that
yeah,
was as BJ Penn, Jose Aldo, Hoist Gracie, UFC. Like those guys were big, right?
yeah,
Now it's more for like my students. Everything I do is for my students,
good for
and I'm
you.
trying, excel, get them to where they want to be, right?
That's awesome. It's always fun training with Hoist. I've had him here twice, and he's been here once. Pit Plus put him on too, and
Yeah.
going here on the town with that guy is crazy.
Yeah,
So,
we've never met him twice. We actually went to dinner with him too.
yeah,
We went out to Boston Pizza and we had some food, and he
that's where
used
we
me
took him to the last time.
he used me a lot for his demonstrations in the last one. So I was like right excited. I was like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. He travels quite a bit doing seminars, but that's really, really good for you to have that experience, open-mindedness to train with different people and all that stuff. Do you have anything coming up that you know of that you're going to be taking part in or training?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
There's actually I think there was a seminar at Sprawler Brawl coming on Sunday that I can
right.
make, that I can try to end up going to.
Yeah,
Saturday's kind of a write-off. I have classes and then I have to go to a boxing event to
yeah,
corner some.
busy. They're a
So
good
Saturday.
club too. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, yeah. They used to be under Fit Plus, so I've trained with them a lot.
Okay.
They're not Fit Plus anymore, but
Yeah,
uh,
that's
yeah,
how
we
it
used to train.
goes. Yeah. You find, I mean, there are a lot of people that start one place and they eventually go to another, they jump around, and that's common for not just here, but everywhere in Brazil. It's for any martial art, it happens.
It seems that way. I'm
In
a I'm a pretty loyalty kind of guy. I mean, I'll train with other people, but like I'm under Fit Plus, so that's why
yeah,
like the gym's affiliated with Fit Plus.
that's good.
I like to be loyal. I mean, I'll still train with like I have friends pretty much in every gym in the
Right.
Americas. Like, so if I'm going to go train, I'll go train there. But my banner is Fit Plus for sure.
Good for you, man. That's awesome. Well, I mean, Scott's got such a long history in Nova Scotia with doing his thing and promoting events, tournaments. I remember when he put on Phoenix Fight Promotion, which was an MMA event like years ago, and he's been around a long time, that fella. So, which is awesome. Do you follow anybody online, videos, anything like that, or any like grapplers that you really look up to?
Um, I follow like Gordon Ryan, obviously. Who doesn't? Like
Yeah,
he's the
yeah, he's
the
great.
best in the world. Um, Rafael Lovato, a couple guys like that. I just whoever. I just look
Right,
at something. If I think it's um not legit, I won't really try it. But if it looks legit, then I'll give it a try.
right. What did you
Um,
think of the last AD Craig Jones Invitational and ADCC in the same day? And did you follow
yeah,
any of those?
I actually watched the Craig Jones Invitational, most of it.
Yeah,
I liked it. It was good.
yeah,
The wall aspect was fun. Like they weren't able to, like if there was a scramble takedown, they weren't going off the mats. It took made the match go quicker. I find like they're not stopping for like to reset in the middle because they went off the mats or anything like
right.
that. So it could no, it was fun. It was fun for sure. That Tackett fight with who was it there? I don't even
I
remember
watched
that.
it too, but I don't know all their names, so it sounds like I do, but I have no idea. So I'm used to guys like Randy Couture, Dan Severn, all those old guys, those are the
Mm.
names that I know.
Yeah.
So, and I know you're in your car. I won't keep you too much longer, but is there anybody in particular that you look up to in, say, martial arts or BJJ that, you kind of like, oh, this is the person I like to follow or hear their direction or,
Yeah.
everyone has someone they look up to.
Yeah. So like my coach, obviously Scott, I
Yep.
look up to him for sure. He's done a lot for me. In my MMA career, my jiu-jitsu career, all the guys at Fit Plus.
Right.
That's for like super famous people. Um, Max Holloway. I love
Mm,
Max Holloway. BJ Penn, obviously Jose Aldo, Israel Adesanya, those
right.
guys usually for grappling like Gordon Ryan's and the Craig Joneses, those guys, the big guys.
Right. No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. And so, how do people get in contact with your school?
So we have a Facebook page,
Yep.
Samson Martial Arts and Fitness, and we have an Instagram as well.
Yep.
All the information to contact, like the email and the phone number, is on there. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Like just those two social media. I'm working on getting a better platform and being able to
Sure.
advertise better. I'm in the process. I'm talking to some companies there, but
It takes
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not
Yeah,
running
I'm good with the social media stuff. I'm on it all the time, but this Zoom stuff, I'm just learning. So,
with the social media stuff. Like all my posters so far have been made by my students who've been like, "Yeah, man, I'll
okay.
make it." I'm like, "Okay, cool, sweet."
That's the best way. That's the best way. Well, Nova Scotia BJJ on Facebook, we try to post things all the time, any updates, seminars. I'll probably post this video. I just did one earlier today with Mike Kitson. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep, good
And that
guy.
guy has amazing history when it comes to Brazilian Jiu. I thought I knew all the history about BJJ in Nova Scotia, but he knows way more than me.
Guy's
So,
a legend for sure.
but yeah, you follow any movies, any martial art movies? Are you into anything like that?
Watch much movies. I'm a big anime guy, but
Okay,
back in the day, like Warrior was probably one of my all-time favorite martial arts movie. That was
nice.
that's never back down.
Yeah.
Not really much of the old stuff. I don't watch a lot of movies or anything,
Okay.
so my big thing, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously you work a lot and you're teaching, and sounds like you said you had a busy home. That's why you're in your car.
Yeah, dogs and kids up there. I'm with my brothers. I'm at my brothers right now. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I won't keep it too much longer. Usually I sit down with people and chat. Usually I try to keep them like 20 minutes.
yep,
But when I'm on Zoom, I've been chatting for like an hour or so. But
yeah,
I really appreciate your time. And even though it's a quick thing, and I'll catch up to you in a couple more months and see how things going. But if I was to offer any advice, especially running a school, and I know all about it, always make sure you're the boss. Obviously your wife or whoever you're in business with, but make sure you're the boss.
I'm single, so I'm definitely the boss.
Okay, so that's even better. So make sure you're the boss because more and more students that join, politics always happens in a club. So make sure you're always in charge. And the last thing I'll tell you is my philosophy. The most dedicated student you're ever going to have is yourself. And
I
that's
agree.
it.
It makes a lot of
So
sense.
yeah, because you'll invest, 10 years in someone in BJJ, and the next day they'll go, "Hey, I'm taking lawn bowling now, so I'll see you later." And you
Yeah,
go,
slap in the face. Yeah,
exactly. Man, I wish you success. We'll promote your club on the page. And again, I don't know how many people will see this, but people will over time, and you share it and they'll get to know who you are. And I'm traveling up actually next month to Cape Breton. I got to teach a Filipino martial arts seminar in Sydney. So, and if I have a chance, I'm staying in Bedeck overnight too with my wife. But if it's possible, I'll try to at least stop in and say hi and shake your hand and have a look. So,
top in, 100%. That would be
and
great.
thanks, man. I appreciate your time. It helps me out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, you take care of yourself.
You too. Have a
Oh,
good
just
one.
one sec. I'm just gonna stop the recording, okay? Just
Yeah.
one second. One sec.